Hey Capricorn, my name is Dre, and this is your June 2017 reading. If you want a reading, email me. All that stuff is in the more info box or whatever. I already laid out the cards to save time. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So here we go. We have the Four of Swords in reverse, the King of Pentacles or King of Discs, the Knight of Wands reversed, the Four of Wands reversed, the Three of Swords, the Hierophant, the King of Wands reversed. King of Wands was in your last reading. The Hangman reversed. The Hangman was also in your last reading. And the Ten of Cups reversed. Additional, or the outcome, we have Strength reversed. And an additional card, we have the Knight of Cups reversed. So this is just telling me right off the bat, and I watched your video for the last month, is, you guys might feel like you're pushed up against the wall, or that you have to make a decision, or that you have to make a choice, or that you have to, somebody else has put you in a situation wherein an ending has come to place. Now it could be with a work situation because we have the King of Discs here, but it could also be, I feel like it's like in terms of any sort of communication, especially if you've been having difficult communication with explicitly one other person. And for a lot of you, what this process is trying to reveal itself to be is a lesson in you in triumph over heartbreak, recognizing that the things that happen to you, are through no exclusive fault of your own, especially if it's like a relationship, blame is equal. Even if the relationship is difficult, especially if one person is more difficult than the other, ultimately you're making that choice to still remain with that person, and sort of allow yourself to be a part of that codependent situation. So if that is still happening, like if you're still in a relationship with somebody, the very foundation that any of this is built on is just falling away from you. And you can only convince yourself and only deny and lie to yourself that things are fine up to a point. And I feel like the pain right now, the struggle might be becoming too real for you to bear. And so I feel like it's time for you to step into this King of Discs energy, this earth energy. Some of you might know a Taurus, or some of you might have Taurus energy in you. Or some of you might, I feel like there's an odds with yourself wherein, if I'm looking at this King of Wands, it could be somebody else. But if I see two of the same, like two queens or two kings or two knights or whatever, I think of it as like one person. It could be two separate people. But, for the instance of this message, I see it as like there's like this sort of ego. You're holding on to something that is entirely, it's so ego driven. It's like you're holding on to a dead relationship, or a situation that no longer serves you, a situation that's brought you nothing but pain, a situation that you're convincing yourself is probably better and more ideal than it actually is, with this Ten of Cups in reverse, where it's like you're so dogged and you're so fixed and so, determined to make something happen that's just not happening. And that's the consistent message I've gotten for you, Capricorn. Because right now, as I tell all the other cardinal signs, and I'll keep saying it as long as astrologically these events are happening, Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, and Libra, you're all going through a huge thing right now, as well as the mutable signs, but you guys especially, because, Mars moved into Cancer, and that's opposing you guys. So, especially for the month of June, and going into July, it's going to be, difficult for you guys. You might feel like you have a lot of external pushback, or that people are probably more aggressive, or that the situation situations involving significant others, or people that you're close to, people that you work with, that you have ties with and commitments with, is getting a little bit more out of your hands. You have less control over it. And that is for a reason. That's trying to get you to understand that some things in your life need to be phased out. Some things need to be re-examined, looked at again. Because with this Four of Swords reversed, it's like you're not allowing yourself, or you need to find time to allow yourself to actually come back within and try to examine what's not working in terms of the Four of Swords in this deck is all about like our ego. Our ego needs to be healed. We need to sort of get into a space where we can reflect and figure out, especially because Four of Swords comes after Three of Swords. Three of Swords is the heartbreak. Four of Swords is the reflection. And this pain is really real. Some of you just aren't allowing yourself to feel that sort of way, especially with this Hangman reverse, him being the only major arcana here in the main deck. Well, no, with the Hierophant. But I feel like for some of you, you need to come. There's a sort of victim mentality that is sort of anchoring you in here. There's victim mentality, there's pride, there's disillusionment as well as illusionment, trying to put your rose-colored glasses on and sort of look beyond what's happening, beyond the fact that two parties just aren't meeting together with this Knight of Wands in reverse. Either somebody else is unreliable, you're unreliable, but either way, this unreliability is playing a huge factor as to why this union, or as to why whatever you're trying to merge with or become part of, like if it's career or if it's, a family situation, again, I'm keeping these as general as possible, there's something here that's not allowing that to sort of fully mesh together. And it is your duty to understand what that is and how to fix it. And I feel like a lot of this predates this reading, of course, all of this heartbreak and this pain and this unreliability, as well as like these power struggles, it comes before, and it's impacting how you're viewing your future, and it's impacting your confidence, and it's impacting whether or not you even see anything coming out of this as being healing, or I feel like you're incredibly discouraged, or you're just choosing to look over it. This Knight of Cups in reverse, that's disillusionment. That's, convincing ourselves that things are fine. And if it's not you, it's someone else. These knights could be the same person, somebody that is, if you're dating, or if you know someone that's close to you, who's just not there, who says one thing and does another. And so I feel like the biggest lesson for you guys to understand is not where you went wrong, but it's like, what about this isn't right? What about this isn't real? What's real? Because the only cards that are really upright, in the main spread, are the King of Discs, the Three of Swords, and the Hierophant. So you need to be able to come to grips with the fact that this heartbreak, this pain, these disappointments, this disarray, this confusion, mental confusion, as well as emotional confusion, all of that is real, and all of that has a precedent. All of that comes from something, and it's your duty to sort of figure out what that is. Have you been playing the victim? Are you allowing somebody to take sort of advantage of you? Are you allowing yourself the time to actually sit back and be at peace with yourself and put up walls around yourself? Four of Swords is also boundaries. Have people been breaching your boundaries? Have your boundaries been too lax? Have you not been confident enough to say the words that you need to say to keep people at bay, to keep yourself protected, your ego protected? And I feel like that's going to be an important lesson going forward. I will say Venus is moving into Taurus. And I only say that because the King of Discs is here. So Taurus makes a good aspect to Capricorn because they're both earth signs. So there's a part of you now that has to sort of come to terms with that you have to allow yourself patience, and you have to allow yourself healing. Taurus is good at that. They're good at, I feel like, working for what they want, building their fortress, and being able to luxuriate. That's why the King of Disc is represented by Taurus. He's built his supply. He's built his empire. So now he can just sit back and relax and enjoy it. Um, and so for you guys, it's all about needing to become harmonious with that process, understanding that, recognizing this truth, this heartbreak, and understanding that people haven't been what they seem, or that you yourself, you have been sort of, lying to yourself in a sense about a part of you that exists, a part of you that probably is more pride driven, a part of you that is still hung up on fairy tales, a part of you that still has a sort of victim mentality, the part of you that likes unreliable sort of energy, or you at least you foster unreliable energy, and you're not holding people as accountable as you should be. Um, all of that, I feel like you need to. It's going to be important for you to sort of have that come into focus. Highlighting this pain, highlighting why it's like totally disrupting the natural flow of things. The strength card, is our natural ability to, um, excuse me, implement the desired change we want in life. That comes directly from our heart center. That comes directly from our passion. It's ruled by Mars in this deck. So, like I said, with Mars going into Capricorn, Mars going into Cancer, you're going to face some resistance. And so a part of you is going to need to fall back, and a part of you is going to need to sort of understand and recognize, where did you go wrong, and what can you do to sort of, because you can't control how other people feel about you or the actions of others, but it's more like, how do you navigate that, and how do you still remain strong and remain confident and remain true to yourself in that process, not losing yourself in distracting yourself from things that matter, the true path, which is what the Hierophant is. So, good luck. Good luck with that, Capricorn, and just leave comments so I can see what this means for your journey. Because like I said, the cardinal signs, you guys are all going through something, and being as real and as practical and as realistic as possible is going to really help you guys going forward. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later. Bye.